Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and we're here at V.H. Macy Park on the west side of the Sawmill River Parkway, where we're going to announce the plans that we have to improve the South County Trailway, which has been a project long in the anticipation here in Westchester County. I'm joined by the Commissioner of Parks, Recreation, and Conservation, Kathy O'Connor. Also with us is the first Deputy Commissioner, Peter Tartaglia, and Deputy Commissioner Andre Early. And you're going to be hearing from Commissioner O'Connor in a few seconds. You're also going to hear from the Majority Leader of the County Board of Legislators, Mary Jane Shimsky, whose district we're in. Also County Legislators David Tubiolo and Ruth Walter. We're joined by a number of other individuals, staff representation from other members of the Board of Legislators that are with us here. We have other representatives in the Parks Department, Jason Klein and others. And I'll let Kathy introduce anybody on her team that she'd like to. We have, over the course of the last 4 years, both this administration and this Board of Legislators, we've been committed to, very simply, fixing what's broke. And over time, all of us who own a house or have a car realize that your assets will deteriorate normally. Things go wrong, and you have to invest money if you want to keep the car rolling, if you want to keep the house together. Many times we put off capital projects because of our immediate concerns about dollars and cents. It's a human reality. We know that we have to fix the roof, but we don't have the money today, so we push it off. We can get through a year, maybe can get through 2 years, but we all know that if you push it off long enough, then you'll have an emergency situation, and at the same time, it's going to cost you more to fix the roof or the car at that point in time. And the same is true with the assets of the county government, in all different parts of the county government. For today's purposes, our county park system has 55 parks of all different nature. We have public golf courses, we have nature centers, we have an amusement park, we have passive parks, we have hiking trails, and we have, in the North and the South County Trailway, the Bronx River Reservation, and even a little path alongside the Playland Parkway, we have different routes that are used by walkers and bicyclists, and they enjoy it. It's very much a part of their enjoyment of Westchester County to have access to these facilities. When I first came into office, I had the opportunity to talk to Mary Jane Shimsky. And Mary Jane is a lovely person to meet and talk with, but when she wants something, she's a tiger. And she was relentless about highlighting the need to improve the South County Trailway. And even as we did move forward through the professional work of our departments, Parks Department, DPW, and elsewhere, to fix the North County Trailway, Mary Jane's comment was, how about the South County Trailway? So today is as much a day for the victory by Mary Jane, her colleagues on the Board of Legislators, and the leaders of the Parks and Recreation Conservation Department, who all along urge us to make the investments necessary today so that the parks are better today and tomorrow, and they last for a long period of time. The person who is head of this department, she served in this capacity before I became county executive, and she's done a fabulous job for us, is Kathy O'Connor, Commissioner of Parks, Recreation, and Conservation. So I'd like to ask her to say a few words, and then when she's finished, I'm going to bring up each of the different county legislators so they can share their thoughts as well. Kathy.
Thank you very much, County Executive Latimer. And as I always say, we could do nothing without his leadership and the support of the Board of Legislators. Collectively, we have been able to do so many awesome things, even during the pandemic. We're doing more in capital improvements than we've done in the last decade. So that comes from the leadership from the County Executive and then, of course, the support of the Board of Legislators. So thank you. Thank you, Mary Jane. And I'll also agree to the fact, relentless, she's relentless, along with Ruth Walters for other parks. So I'm surrounded by relentless women, and David, who give us a run for our money, but it's always in good faith. It's always for the betterment of Westchester County patrons and the constituents, and it's paying off. Very quickly, South County Trail improvement, fabulous. I happen to walk it frequently. Our office isn't far away from here, so a lot of times when I leave my office, I put my sneakers on and I come over here. So selfishly, I am thrilled at the changes that are going to occur. Really looking forward to it. Also, every 10 years, our department does a survey to the public. We think we're awesome, but it's always good to ask the people that utilize our facilities, how are we doing, should we do differently, and every year that we've done it, every 10 years that we've done it, what always comes out on top, not golf, not even swimming, and I'm sorry, not even Playland, it's our trails. And people love our trails because they can get on them, they're free, all you need is a good pair of sneakers, or a bike, or a pair of rollerblades. And we're doing it again. We're scheduled to do it again in 2021. It'll be very interesting to see. I think it's going to still come back out, especially with the changes. One final thing I'd like to say is, before you leave, please turn around and look at the sign that we're adding. The signage is on the North County Trail now, and it's now starting at the South County Trail. We've worked diligently with our promoters, with our contractors, and what we love about that sign is that it's full of information, it's very visual. HSS is the main sponsor at this point, but what's really cool is there's a QR signage on it. If you go on it, it gets you right to a platform that then connects you to everything with Westchester County Parks. It also gives you a 911 if you have an emergency, and it also sends you into restaurants and coffee shops and whatever. So it's kind of like a whole hospitality group right on that sign. So thank you, Dave DeLucia, our Director of Park Facilities, the man with the dapper hat on. He has really, really spearheaded this. He's relentless too. So again, I'm surrounded, very proud to be commissioner of this department, and we really look forward to the completion of this park, and it will then be from north to south awesome. So thank you to everybody, and we look forward to seeing you out on the parks. Thank you.
As Kathy pointed out, the improvements that will be made here will make it a better experience for the people that are bicycling, and most importantly, to create a safer environment by making sure that the integrity of the path is such that you don't have to worry about potholes and things that could potentially create problems for the bicyclists and, for that matter, the walkers. We expect the restoration of the South County Trailway to be completed by next spring. This is a 6-mile route that goes down to Barney Street in Yonkers, goes to up ahead here, not too far away, at Route 119. It's part of a consistent set of work that began and was completed in the North County Trailway, and the whole entire route is a 36-mile journey from the Putnam border just north of the Bronx border here in Westchester County. Mary Jane Shimsky has represented this area geographically for a number of terms. She has previously served in state government as an aide to Assemblyman Richard Brodsky, and she has done a number of things in her professional life. She is by profession a lawyer. She also has a doctorate in history. That means she's pretty smart. But smart isn't always enough. Persistence is what gets the job done, and she has been very precise and persistent in wanting to see us, in her capacity as a legislative leader, tackle these capital projects and infrastructure. And in this particular case, Mary Jane, this is as much your brainchild as it is anyone's, so please, share us your thought on this moment.
Thank you so much, George. As Commissioner O'Connor said, our trailways are among the most used and most beloved of our county facilities. We've been working for many years to get the South County Trailway the facelift it needed. But for a number of years now, this stretch of the South County Trail from, say, Elmsford down to Yonkers has been needing TLC increasingly over the years. Not too long after I started at the board 10 years ago, I was getting complaints and concerns from constituents about the deteriorating condition. When George took over as county executive a few years ago, he was facing a massive backlog in capital projects, and this was one of them. And as we go through the months and the years, we keep ticking them off, ticking them off, ticking them off. And now it's the turn of this stretch of the South County Trailway. I'm very happy that our bicyclists, our walkers, and our skaters are going to have a much more comfortable, much more enjoyable, and a safer surface on which to work out. They're also going to be able to enjoy the signage that the commissioner talked about. I am so happy that we're at this day. I'd also like to thank all of my colleagues at the Board of Legislators, one of whom you'll be hearing from next, David Tubiolo, who is chair of the Parks Committee, and Ruth Walter, who you will hear after that, who's vice chair of the Parks Committee. It's their commitment to the parks and the commitment really of all 17 legislators to the parks, that working together with the county executive and the parks and other departments make this all happen. So thank you very much, everyone, and I can't wait for a nice smooth surface. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce David Tubiolo, Westchester County Legislator. As you heard already, he is chair of the Parks Committee, which is a relevant committee in terms of dealing with our parks. David's district includes a similar type area on the other side, in the central spine of the county, along the Bronx River Parkway, and many of his constituents also use that area or may come over to this one since it's open to all county residents. But the importance of parks are something that he sees. He served as a legislative aide to Bernice Spreckman, and now in his own right as a county legislator, he's establishing his record to try to support our parks. So, David Tubiolo.
Thank you, George. Thank you, everyone. Just want to say it's a great team to be here. You have George Latimer, great leadership. You have colleagues like Mary Jane and Ruth, and you have the Parks Department, of course, with Kathleen and Pete and Dave. And it's a wonderful team effort that makes this happen. And I just want to say, today in the pandemic, parks are so much more important than ever before. People need space. People need healthy environments. People need to be around nature and get mental health, in a good place. And the parks help with that. And the South County Trailway really does help. And that's where we're at right now. I have to say thank you to everyone around us. This was a team effort. And as David DeLucia was just mentioning me before, this started in '92, '94, and it was peace and peace and peace, and it's finally happening. So once again, thank you everyone behind me, around me, and it's for the benefit of the people and the community of Westchester and people who visit us, especially right now in the pandemic. So thank you, and parks are for the people, and parks are for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Before we introduce our last speaker, I want to make sure that we recommend and compliment the work of our Department of Public Works, DPW, and particularly the role that Vincent Altameri played in all of this. Vincent, take a bow. Outstanding work, and we appreciate it. Your professional work here. And also, these things don't happen willy-nilly. They happen with planning, which includes the planning department. And Rob Lopane's role here is also exemplary. Rob, thank you for your service and this and other projects in the county. Let me highlight that what makes this county special is as many professionals as we have in every one of these departments. And as much as those of us in elective office have our role to play in policy and before the camera, it's people like Rob and Vincent that have been working for this county for many, many years. County executives come and go, but when you have talent and you have people committed, all you really have to do is unleash it. Give them the ability to do that work and do it to the best of their ability, and you get positive results. Next speaker, County Legislator Ruth Walter, represents a section of Yonkers and the village of Bronxville. She is a small business owner, very successful small business owner, and during the days of pandemic, that is not an easy thing to do. But she's been active in the community, chaired the Bronxville Library Board, and done other activities that shows her community mindedness, and we're very happy of her role that's played in all of our issues on parks. Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming out on this beautiful day to celebrate our wonderful park system. I'm Ruth Walter, and I do represent North Yonkers, East Yonkers, and the village of Bronxville. And when I was a private citizen in 2015, I did a triathlon in Rye. And one of the steps is to train for a 25-mile bike ride. It's a mile swim and a 10K. And I remember training on this trail, and it was a lot of this. And, as a private citizen, you think, why doesn't somebody fix this? And so as a legislator now, I'm thrilled to be able to stand here with the amazing administration of George Latimer, Kathleen O'Connor, all the parks personnel and planning and DPW to say we are fixing this and we are going to make it a smooth ride for so many hundreds and hundreds of people who use this on a weekly and daily basis. So I want to thank everybody. I can't wait to use the new QR code. I can't wait to see how that brings up more information for me on my phone. And it's a beautiful day to enjoy the parks. In COVID, we know how much the parks have meant to people's mental health and physical health. And I'm just so glad to see the investment that we're putting in for people so that they can enjoy the parks even more. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
Just to make a couple of closing comments as we complete this. When I came into office as county executive, not quite 3.5 years ago, the very first thing I did, was to sign an executive order that took the name of the county executive off of all of our public spaces, which primarily means the parks of Westchester County, although it was present in a few other places. And I did that, and of course I had some of my colleagues say, why would you do that? You just got in, don't you want your name everywhere? Because I understood something essential about our parks and all of the other facilities. These parks are not owned by the county executive or, with all respect, Board of Legislators of the moment. I served 13 years in the Board of Legislators. That time came and went. They're owned by the people of Westchester. The vision to create this system that we have, that includes all those different assets that I talked about, and they each came into the system at different times. They were done by people whose names we don't remember today. But what they did is what mattered. They took pieces of this county of ours, this beautiful county, and they set it aside so that everybody could enjoy it. Not just those wealthy enough to have a large estate, of which there are plenty in this county, but that anybody could enjoy these parks, and that they weren't the possession, again, of the county executive. I inherited my being a Westchester resident because my mother and father decided this is where they were going to live. My mother grew up in this county. My father moved to this county from Brooklyn. And when I was born in this county, I inherited something that I didn't create. And now that I have the opportunity with my colleagues in the Board of Legislators to protect and advance these assets, that is our job. And it will be the responsibility of future boards and future county executives to upgrade and maintain those assets for years to come. But they're done with one thing in mind, and that is their enjoyment and their use by the people that live in this county, the people of today, and when these repairs are made, the people we hope for the next 20 years will continue to enjoy it, whether we are here to enjoy it or not. That's why we're doing it, and I think that's the right message to send to people in a day of cynicism, in a day of division, where we have lots of reasons to suspect people in public office, and we have our tribal adherences, and we fight. We do this because it's the right thing to do. And something as simple as improving this pathway, which could have been done years ago, it's being done now. And that's what I'm proud of. And I'm proud of the people that have helped advance it, people who've supported it, and that's why we're here today. And we thank you for watching. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can reach any member of the Board of Legislators at 995-2800. You can reach anyone in our administration, 995-2900 for the county executive, 995-2000 for the general operation. And sooner or later, you'll find your way to Kathy O'Connor's phone. It'll ring on her desk. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, David.